Hey everyone, let's build the Dried Flower Centerpiece by Lego Icons. The Botanical Collection, set number 10314, contains 812 bricks. And for a better view, this is what it looks like on the box. So the colors are a bit on the soft side, warm, and muted. And let's take a look at what the manuals have to offer. There's two manuals here, and this is what it looks like on a white background. So you can see this is something I'd see more during Halloween or Thanksgiving, something in the fall months. Okay, so let's take a look at the book here and see what we have. And display your way. And of course you can hang it on the wall or put it on the table around a candle, but it's telling you not to combine sets and hang it on a wall like that. Unless you're willing to engineer that with some technique, I'm sure it could be possible. And everlasting creativity. Pretty cool. I'm not going to read all that. You could download the manual and read it on your own time. Plants from Plants, and I believe that this is designed for the Lego Route by Chris McVeigh. So he's the guy here who designed this. Well, we'll save my opinions for the build and the reviews. For the most part, it looks like an interesting build. And then here's how the build is broken down. So, bags 1, 2, and 3. And we start with bag 1. I already have one here keyed up. And then we have, in this manual here, bags 4, 5, 6, and 7. So Lego is now breaking this stuff down in smaller bags, which is cool, for easy assembly. Now, I noticed there is some duplicates and stuff like that in here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to read ahead here real quick and compare both manuals and see, because I don't want to have to do this thing 20 times here. And let's do this here to be a little easier. I'm looking for duplicates, so we obviously can tell that steps, it looks like 4 and 1 are almost the same. They're mirrors. So maybe we can just build those. And then bag 2, and these look like they're almost the same here, but we're not going to do that. So bags 1 and 4, I believe, are duplicates at that point. So we're just going to assume that. So for brevity of this build, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on bags 1 and 4 at the same time. So what I'm going to do is find bag number 4, and we're going to do this one here. I'm going to keep these parts here separate, and we're just going to build, remember, 1's a mirror, so that's how we're doing it. And just to speed up the build a bit more, you don't have to do what I'm doing here. Okay, so I'm using my second audio device. Let me get that out of the way so I don't knock my noggin on that. And now let's begin with bags 1 and 4. So 1 and 4 are contain the base, and book 1 builds half of this. Okay. Like I said, I'm on a deadline to do these, and yeah, so I saw this and I saw the castle, and I thought, well, I want to work on the castle, and I don't want to be interrupted. I thought, well, let's just build this one and see how well the build goes. If you watch the part unboxing, the parts are a bit, they're muted. There weren't nothing to really mention about. And I'm hoping that this set here will give us a bit more entertainment than the parts. I was yawning through it. The colors were a bit depressing and that kind of thing. So that's pretty much what it is. Let's see how well this goes here. And yeah, looks pretty much the same, huh? And always read ahead in your manuals, because I was unboxing this, I thought, man, these bags look almost the same. All right, we are missing a round plate. Does it indeed go in here? If not, then I'll have to exclude that there. Yes, bag 4 shows it. Matter of fact, bags 1 and 4 are almost the same, right? So I don't think it really matters. And having white pieces on a table is not really good. And right now, the wind is kicking up. It's like in the 70s. We have a big storm blowing in. And yes, it will be very warm. Now, where's that white piece at? I don't know. I'm already losing parts already. And doing this on a white table, it just doesn't help. So let me go get one of my plates real quick, because it could have rolled on the floor. It could have went in another bin. So I've been hoarding these up right here. And that's what I need. So that's not a bad part to start hoarding up. Okay. But I'm gonna have a feeling that one of these is going to be mirrored. But we'll see how well it goes here. So if you're watching this and building this, if you want to just get it done in a hurry, then there you go. I'm gonna help you along here with that, and then we're just going to do it as we go. So I could just have both manuals out right now and just kind of compare, just to see. I don't have enough space up on this desk for 2 of them, so I'm just going to assume until we notice things are a little different here. Matter of fact, what I could do, if I can find the manual here, is, yeah, so far it's essentially the same thing. Okay. So we'll just check our work once in a while here, just to be sure. Just to kind of check on things. Okay, making sure. Why they don't have you build 2 pieces at one time. Probably this is meant for giving this to your partner who's into Lego. So it's obviously meant for that. So one of you could build one part and the other could build the other part. Isn't that cool? Yeah, you know. And I think that's what their Lego is starting to shoot more towards this collaborative, simultaneous build. So everybody gets to experience a portion of the build and say, hey, I helped put that together. And let's rotate it around. Okay, yes, indeed, these are mirrors. So we're going to leave one like that. Make sure I have the right manual here. Okay, cool. So now things are going to get a little slimy here. And it means that this one will go here, and then this one goes here. So it was a duplicate up to a point, and then now we're going like this. And so far these colors kind of remind me of Halloween. They're not really it's not. This is not really a cheerful set to build by any means. Okay. And then, let's see here. Until I can feel more comfortable with it here. Okay. What they're doing here and what this hole is meant for a hanger piece. And it does come with some hanger pieces. I've never seen these before until now. So if you're interested in making your own picture frames, you can probably get a few of these right here. It's got the, you know. I wish that had some kind of Technic connectors on it so it'd be more robust. Okay. Now, mind you, when I build my own mocks and stuff like that, or my own tutorials, I try to break the builds down in such a way that a user can come in and build it as quickly as possible without confusing the builder. So like for somebody like myself here, this is essentially what this is. And we got a little bit of text here. And it says, built into each side of the model is a 2x6 plate with a mounting bracket so you can hang your decorations on a wall. This special element has first appeared in Dots productions. So this was in the Dots sets. I've never seen it before because I never owned a Dots set. So yeah, go figure there. And I'll set that right there. So yeah, we're really breezing through this one here, but we're doing bags 1 through 4, or bags 1 and 4, not 1 through 4. I got to remember to note that down when I do the editing here. Or when I index the video, you know how you see in the description down there where it's got the chapters? Yeah, I've been doing a lot of those chapter things because some people want to just fast forward through it. And here it's the same old stuff here. All right, so it looks the same again. But we will keep it mirrored here. Oh yes, about my trip I've been planning. It didn't take too long. Somebody's already wanting me to do a special job for them, and it happens to happen on that month. And I just thought, oh, I need a break. Well, we need you to do this. So they're willing to pay me more to take that time. And hey, you know what? Money talks. So I'm seeing if I can move things around earlier. It's like a magnet, you know. When it comes to work-related stuff, it's like a magnet, you know. Oh, this guy's planning something big. We're gonna have to rain on his parade. I could have just said no too, but you know, but that means I'd have to work throughout the winter a bit more. Okay, almost looks like a Luke Skywalker speeder. But yeah, I'm just, you know, I need a palate cleanser. That means I got to really start going out jogging and stuff like that before I hit the waves. If you're ever going to go surfing, make sure you're fit. You don't want to be out there in the ocean and you run out of steam real quick. You know, that will not do you any good. You will get tired and you will be like, yeah. All right. Okay. So now it's just tiles in here. Tell me if you like this method of splitting things up. And oh yes, Janet, I've been reading your comments lately, and she's the only one I think that comments on here. And we have a hole here. Did I forget to fill something in? Wait a minute. Oh, I made a boo-boo. We got to peel that all off there. Well, I'm trying to get this one plate off here. I made a mistake, and this whole thing will disintegrate. There's supposed to be some 2x4s in there. So, yes, I've been reading your comments. I do read comments on here. I don't answer as promptly because I'm more focused on the main channel. Just remember, it's going to have to hang over like that. Okay, so if you do that, just be slow like me and just take your time. And there's supposed to be some in here. But yeah, I try to keep up on the comments as much as I can. You know, right now I'm starting to work on my vintage and modern tech channel. Right now I've got some stuff that when I was doing the computer, when I got my parts in for my computer, I had to film it because it was shipped via UPS. And you know how those guys like to trash your packages before they even come up to your door. And when I heard that they were shipping through UPS, I thought, oh, let's see how bad the damage is. And sure enough, when I got the package, it was pretty well trashed up, but the contents was still immaculate inside. And I still have that cooler in my computer, and it's still working. So maybe they were doing the drop test for me. Yeah. Yeah, so I may just use that for unboxings and stuff too. Okay, are we doing the same thing here with the hinges? Yes, indeed we are. Okay, I'm just checking as I go here, guys and gals. All right. Whoops, oh, that was a bit sloppy, huh? Yeah, but I can't wait to go and just go for a nice jog and just relax. And just to kind of just chill out and have fun, you know. All right, so basically you're going to have to line these up here simultaneously because they're going to be kind of hard to hinge in a way. So little geometry there. So we got to do that again on this side. And yeah, so far, despite of the colors being kind of bland, this is actually not too bad of a build. Now, mind you, when I do the unboxings, though, they're completely isolated from this. We're just looking at the parts from an unboxing point of view. When I'm doing this type of stuff here, I'm doing the build differently. So I cannot look at the build and go, oh, look, this is going to be depressing just by looking at the part colors. All right. Alrighty. I can build both of these at the same time, huh? We're not going to go that extensive here. And then there's some leaf pieces here. And yes, that is olive green. That's not really appealing there. I'm not a fan of olive green. It has its place. I remember this color when I was a kid because my parents and grandparents had appliances that color. And yeah, I'm glad I remember I talked about I never got one of those denim jackets, but I had a secondhand jacket, and I believe that was one of the colors on it. That and that, it was just not a. It was like a bad memories thing. Oh, there's that plate right there. So we knew I'd find it eventually. But yeah, that's one of the, when I see olive green, I just think of the old coat that I had and getting made fun of it for wearing it. And yeah, that's kind of why. I mean, it has its place, but not in my heart it doesn't. I'll use it, but very seldomly. It makes a good house color, but there we go. And I believe that concludes bags 1 through 4. And let's take a look here. We're going to look at bag 2 and 5. So 2 and 5 almost look identical here. I think that's what it is. I mean, they're just rotated differently. Well, yeah, let's take a breather here. Okay, so we got bags 2, and I think I'm going to go ahead and jump into 5 and see if they're both the same. So what I'm gathering is these two go together here. Okay, so we're going to set these off to the side here, and then we're going to focus on bags 2 and 5. Now, they look identical in here, but like I said, they're kind of rotated differently. So I'm just going to gather they're probably the same thing. So what we're going to do is I'm going to keep bag 5 over here by the phone recorder. And we're going to focus on bags 2. And then we're going to do bag 5. And I'm assuming that these are mirrored, which they are. And then we'll do this. I mean, essentially they have the same exact parts in there. So I don't know, unless they're in different configurations. And then we'll see where we go from here. So 2 is going to be the one I'm working on right here. 5 will be over here. And yeah, so let's hope I'm not digging myself a hole and not be able to get out of that, huh? So we need to put 2 of these on here. And then I'm just going to tackle with this pile over here, making sure I'm recording. And yeah, why do I say it when I'm making sure I'm recording? It's just so I can make sure that I'm really recording here to bore everybody to death. You know, let's see here. Alrighty. So manual 2 is the one I'm mainly focused on here. So we got to build that. Let's see what manual 5 has to say. And yes, it is essentially the same thing. Oh yeah, so you just got to build 2 of those, huh? I'm making sure I'm in the right book. But yeah, if you're building a, if you're buying this and if you're thinking about buying this, you know, this is one thing to consider on with these type of videos is the troubleshooting. You know, oh, I need to label these as spoilers. So some people don't like them spoiled, so I may end up saying, oh, these are spoiler alerts. Be careful. So you got to stack a bunch of these on here. Actually, you need to put one there. Then you got to put one on again. We're warming up here, and then you got to stack a lot on there. Now you can leave this pretty random, but I'm going to leave it the way the book shows it and line them up as best I can. And in addition, I got to put 5 more on there, so you're going to need 7 of those little boogers on one in one sitting. So far the repetitious on here hasn't been too bad. You think there'd been a stud or something in between there. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait, hold on. Before I start that, I'm glad now I did. There's a stud that goes in there. I was like, something doesn't make sense there. Okay. That's why they did things a little differently here. All right, so you're going to have to stick a stud inside of there. You're going to have to do that 5 times. But since I'm duplicating this, I got to do it 10 times. Yeah, huh? Oh, and I found out something. I'm using the voice memos recorder, and the last couple of videos it was set to compressed. So I'm hoping that the audio quality on this is not so muffled. It sounded kind of compressed, so I'm hoping that that'll be fine and it won't be so muffled up. Yeah, I'm hoping we don't lose power out here. This camera does not have a battery in it at all. So if lights go out, well, that'll be the end of the show. Very seldomly we'll lose power out here. And if it happens, it only happens for maybe a few minutes and then it's back on. California, they have this protection thing that if the winds get over 10 or 15 miles an hour, they shut power off. Unless your services are all underground. And I'm kind of lucky there that mine are all underground, so I don't have to worry. Okay, we're ready to put this on there, and I'm having a hard time fighting that in there, but there it is. And I don't know. Just put the one on the bottom of the flange, one on the top of the flange. It's not spaced out like the book, but I don't think it really matters. Of course, I could just look at the picture on the front, huh? Because some people will go OCD like myself, and we're like, well, this doesn't quite match. Did I do something wrong? This would have been prettier if it was a little more colored. Yeah, see right here how it's bunched right there? Yeah, and it's, here it is too. It's kind of bunched. Do we have to build 2 of those or just the one? Just the one? Making sure here. Okay, so sometimes just look at the picture on the box and just to kind of see here. Yeah, but I knew though when I was making the plans, something was going to happen. Matter of fact, when you get into software engineering, if you ever plan on doing it, you build up a reputation and that kind of thing where people want you to do more work for them. Oh, and this is filmed on the 12th of I believe it's the 12th of January 2023. And the other day, I guess there was an issue with aviation. Somebody had put the wrong file or put a corrupted file in there, and their systems and everything crapped out. And I was like, oh man, whoever did that is probably going to get canned for it, because they shut down all the airports for a few hours just for their navigational systems and stuff real time. And when that goes, that's it. You know, I was sitting there going, oh, somebody made a boo-boo. I mean, I've done that a few times, but never live, you know. I never done any of those type of boo-boos. Most people have me do database work, but I run everything in a sandbox. You know, I do everything in a sandbox environment before I run the real deal. Yes, it's slower that way, but, you know, you got to do it. I don't want to lose that. Okay, so, and we got to put 3 studs on top of one another on the front of this here. So it'd be easier to, well, they show it as an inset first, so let's do that. And then this goes in here. And I'm just checking the book as I go here too. And essentially, they're both the same manuals, but I was reading about that the guy dropped the wrong file and the system was spitting out errors, and I thought, wouldn't this computer system have a self-check before you hit the start button, before you make it public? When I write something up, I do a self-diagnostics test before I even put the thing in the client's database. I always do a self-check, and if there's problems, it starts spitting out errors like a slot machine in Vegas. Oh, I did something wrong. And yeah, so far, these are identical to what we're doing. Okay, I mean, literally, they're the same thing here in both books, except this one's got an inset here. The stalks of wheat use nested crown elements to give the wheat a corrugated appearance. All right, so that's what we're doing there. Okay, but yeah, in addition to all the airports getting shut down and stuff like that, that was the whole thing. And you know, a couple of buddies of mine were just kind of laughing, thinking, how could somebody do that without running a sandbox test first? You know, somebody's going to get canned. I don't think they did it intentionally, but whatever you do, if you ever get in that field, though, don't. Yes, a sandbox test. So you're going to have to be there a little longer to test your program out, but it caused more problems than not. It's some companies, though, they want the employee to be really fast on their feet and to do things lickety-split without making any errors. Well, the faster you work, the more prone to errors you will become. No one's immune to it, and I'm missing a clip. So I have no clue where it's at. It's one of these brown clips that I just messed with here. But yeah, I mean, but just by looking at all that happened the other day on the news, and I just couldn't help but laugh, thinking, oh my goodness. I mean, yes, I made mistakes, but only in sandbox environments. I've never done them like that. I don't think somebody did it intentionally. But then again, it opens up a whole can of worms. All right. And now we're going to have to find a piece of clay here. I remember one time when I was doing the jury duty thing, and I remember through the Von Door thing, they were interviewing people like me, and it was something about, and this was many years ago, it was about credit card fraud, how somebody had wiretapped something to do that, and then they're asking, you know, are you experienced in, you know, that kind of stuff? And I was like, Well, I know about it. I know how the systems work and stuff, and how this person probably had found out a flaw in there, and they're like, "Are you an expert witness?" And I'm like, "Well, you be the judge of that." And then they kind of get all mad at you and go, "Well, we need your input." And I said, "Well," I said, "maybe I am." I said, "Really," I said, "this stuff is," I said, "somebody with very basic knowledge could do that." And it got me out of jury duty real quick. Well, I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be, but I can't get it to turn. Maybe that is. All right. But kind of scary stuff here. And then the next thing here is the tree. Essentially, yes, these are the same thing. Essentially, they are. Just, they're different. Okay, you know, I mean, maybe they should have made this like one of those goofy Minecraft sets. And yes, you get little trees in that baby poop green. What a waste. All right. Now, when it comes to other type of jobs, like somebody will ask me about gardening. Well, I do some gardening, but I'm not an expert on it. Or let's say running a water treatment plant or something like that. I wouldn't know anything about that stuff, you know, or auto mechanic or anything like that, or somebody, or a doctor or a nurse. I have no clue. I would be totally lost. And then this gets bent out of the way here, and then this tree goes in there, and well, that just fell off. And that doesn't stay in there very well, huh? And there we go. All right, and then we take one of our speeders and we're going to attach this here like this. I think you're going to have to kind of maneuver and manipulate things, as it's not going to fit in there. So this is going to be one of those builds that I'm literally just going to be rotating stuff around, lining up the hinge plates to get that to work. And it's supposed to be like that. Let's take a look at the other book, and that's exactly what it is. It's like we get 4 of those little dead trees. Well, that kind of got crunched in there. See, it won't fit in. You're going to, yes, and you're going to have a lot of little things break off. So I'm just going to let be known right now that the build quality on this is probably going to not be too well. Build experience so far is, it's pretty good. It's just, I'm going to tell you right now, if without building it in duplicates like this and reading ahead, this would be a very dry build. Okay. And doesn't that look familiar? Yeah, that sure does. All right. I'm going to assume that if you're building this, bags 1 and 2 are definitely duplicates, just a little mirrored. And bags 4 and 5 are pretty much essentially the same thing at this point. Okay. We'll definitely need these later, huh? So yeah, it may take a little longer than normal because I'm doing 2 bags. Just imagine though, just doing the one at a time, you go back through here thinking, wait, I just did this. Why couldn't I just save some time? And then we got to do that. Let's see here, is my suspicions correct? This is the second manual. Here's that manual there. I mean, they look identical to me. Maybe slight rotations on things, but they look identical. Okay, and well, let's get started on that. So, yeah, for the most part, though, these flower sets are not too bad. They're just repetitious. Unless you're building one of each, then it's not too terribly bad. And we need one more of those ball things here. So bag 2 and bag 5s, or bag 2 or 5, or whatever, how you want to phrase that. They do have essentially a lot of small parts. So, okay. I think what we're doing, we're building the same thing, just rotating it 180 degrees to make it more random. Why don't you just tell me to build the base and start building duplicates of things? There's one of those. Oh, that's pretty cool. Make great little steps for something, huh? As a matter of fact, you could do that. Take these, spiral them around, and you could make some nice cool steps for that. I don't know how durable they would be, and stick some 2x2 plates on there. And there you go. You got some nice spiral steps. And I noticed since I've been grabbing out of the same pile over here, I don't think it's going to matter at this point. So if I run out of pieces, we'll hit that pile up over there. And then same thing here. Now you've heard me talk about these before, these little tiny stems like this. They're meant for these type of flowers. So you just need to stick 2 friends flowers. And it is compatible with 3 different types of flowers. But they only want 2 on there. Great for little bouquets and stuff like that. I'm always looking for foliage parts. I have a neighbor. He doesn't like anybody parking in front of his house. He's got lots of cars. All right. This is the same one with the loud motorbike and stuff like that. So what he'll do is he'll move his car and puts it right at the property line. He'll just go out there purposely and keep moving his cars around. And he's retired. But I'm thinking, man, I could think of some other things to do than doing that on my retirement. You know, I guess it's to each his own, but that's like, sometimes he'll sit out there and in his car, listen to the radio while it's running and smoking a blunt. I don't know. You know, some people out here are just, they crack me up on what they do. And that, oh, I thought that tree fell. I was like, well, how cheesy. I mean, of course, I can't say anything, though, because I do Lego. I'm an older gentleman that does Lego as a hobby. All right. And then these go... looks like they go in here on these. So I guess these are going to be used like little anchors. They're going to double up as anchors here. And just rotate those in. Don't just shove them in there. Just do it like that and just kind of wiggle them in there. Okay, and you can just give them a slight push, but I wouldn't try to just shove them directly in there. And I know that because from experience, because I've broken a few of the older ones doing that. So now I just learn to take my time and just wiggle things in. Alrighty. So far, I mean, it's something you'd see like in the Mojave Desert or something, but I mean, this is kind of a... Let's put these out like that. There we go. Kind of look depressing. Alright, and see what I'm doing now is I got this manual here and I'm just flipping this one over, checking my work. See, we have the same thing, but this one's mirrored. So... And then this one here, we got to make 2 of these. And then we got to shove a flower in here. Those flowers fit right in there too. That's pretty cool. I've done that a few times on some experimental builds. All right, how long have I been doing this for here? 21 minutes, but remember I'm doing both bags, so this could be a very long build. I may just do this all in one sitting, so it may be maybe a 2.5 hour build, just to get it done real quick, because I want to be honest, I want to work on the castle. I don't want to be doing this right now. You know, I mean, I'm sorry, Mr. Designer. It's just the color palette is just kind of, you know, it's just, I'm just going to say it, it's depressing. It's just not really up my alley. You know, I mean, it's, I did another one of these. You've probably already seen it because this is going to be the latter one that I'm releasing here. Really bright, colorful, cheerful. It was a really fun build. And the build experience on this is pretty good. It's just the colors are just kind of, they're dragging the build down. So I'm trying to keep that separated, you know, from that whole thing here. All right, so we need to rotate things around to make things fit. So you're actually going to have to play the game of operation in here and just kind of get that down in there and hope you get in there without breaking something here. And just, you're going to have to do a lot of twisting on the stems and stuff, so to get all these to be put in place for something like that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty right there. Maybe make a jungle with that or something. And this is the same exact thing we just did. Well, we hear an airplane, so obviously this one here didn't go too bad. And there you go. And that whole assembly there goes in the same socket in both manuals. Always hold right there. Don't hold it from the top. Some people are attempting to do that. I know it seems like you would do that. And stick it in. If you press on the top, you may crumble something or worse, break apart, and you don't want to do that. There we go. So I'm just giving you some tips in here. I'm not telling you how to build this or anything. That's up to you, the builder. But for me personally, I'm just giving you some pointers here on my strategies on how to get these things built, you know, in a hurry, if you just want to hurry up and get it done. But for the most part, though, except for the color palette, it is keeping my interest, so there we go. So far, it's keeping my interest. I'm not getting bored of it or anything yet. I'll let you guys and gals know when I start getting bored of it. But I'm sure one could just replace these with cheerful colors, and then just, they make these parts in cheerful versions, so you can do that too. And the tree goes in here. Now, if you can't get that in there, just swing that out of the way and shove that one in there, like that. Okay, it's not going to hurt anything. Just make sure you're not pushing it from the top, because something may come apart and it may be harder to put it back on. There we go. And then we'll swing that back in there. In fact, there's a hollow spot here. I'm sure you can just kind of group this up here and just kind of twist this a little bit and just kind of do that. And then, yeah, both of them are the same at this point. So far, if you're building this, bags 1 and 4 and 2 and 5 are essentially the same thing. So I have to look out my window. I've been hearing the same truck move around since I've been doing this here. That's how it's supposed to be here. I have to look. I'm curious. Oh, he's hitching up his boat that doesn't run. I drive an old car, but man, that car, my truck is still reliable. Man, this guy's boat, that's probably one of the worst things you can, other than an airplane, is driving a boat that's going to die out in the middle of the ocean. All right, and now we are doing bag 3, and now these look like, they look like essentially the same thing. if I rotate this around, it's pretty much the same thing. So, you know, this build here is hidden. It's just, I think honestly they did this as a group project. So we're just gonna blast right through that, huh? All right. And then I'm just gonna grab a little bit from everything now, because at this point here, they're the same thing. And no, I don't have anybody who would like to help me build. I wish I knew more Lego guys in my area. And my girlfriend doesn't like doing any of this stuff. Sadly, I don't really know anybody who is willing to do the Lego stuff with me. And no, there's no LUG in my area, which stands for Lego User Group. I did get a question asked, what is it like to be a recognized Lego person, you know? And do you work for Lego? First off, I'm a recognized Lego community. It means Lego recognizes this as a community. I don't work for Lego at all. Okay. I don't think I want to work for Lego, because that means that this would be a job. It wouldn't be a hobby anymore. You know? So no, I'm just recognized as an outlet. Okay, and let's take a look here. Pretty much the same thing. See, if you rotate it around, they're pretty much the same. So yeah, but I would not want to do this as a job. Now, there's some out there who tell you that this is their full-time gig. That's fine. That's okay if they like doing this. But for me personally, I like to just sit back and just take it easy. And not have, I mean, yes, I'm on deadlines and stuff like that, but for me personally, though, now I got to find a couple of these here. But for me, I just rather just, wow, that one just did not want to go in. I remember I was watching one of my, what you can call it, competitors, how to make this your job. Let's not say we did. I already have a job. Unlike a lot of the Lego YouTubers, though, that do this for a living, I have a retirement age set to 55. When I turn 55, I am done. All right, I am not working anymore. Okay. And I think the next book is in the middle too. But I think I'll be working until I drop. I think that's what it is. I think I'll be working well until I'm in the ground. Because honestly, I think I would be bored of retirement. It would be boring after a while, and I think I'd probably want to do work. If I did, I'd probably be still working at my business now that I own. Just less work. Hire it out to someone else. There we go. And so far, we're done with that, huh? Oh, yuck! We got to do these again. Let's make sure there's not duplicates of that. Oh, they're different. Okay. Okay. The detailed texture of the pedal miller stands is created with stacks of conical wheel gears. That's probably what they're using here. A stack of conical. Making sure I read that correctly. Okay. Let's make sure here. And, well, this one here doesn't show the gears. Oh, but it shows it on the next page. So guess what we're going to be doing? Let's go ahead and let's do the gears real quick. Now, I'm looking for the Technic axle here. Oh, there it is. So I'll start with that one there. And we're going to probably put 13 on there. Cool, huh? Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun with this. And then let's get started on it now. Yeah, so bags 2, if I divide this in half, it's probably going to be the worst bags. Now I technically only finished up bags 1 and 4. I haven't even started any other bags yet. I'm working on 2 and 5 right now. But where does bag 7 come in? That means there's probably something there that's not really much of a duplicate. So if you had a partner putting this together, it probably wouldn't take long. Or since there's 7 bags, if you had 7 people, yeah, you'd probably get this set done in 15-20 minutes. And you'd be done with it, huh? If you need a lot of bevel gears, there you go. Oh, and this set retails for $49.99 for 800 something bricks. You know, you're getting some medium to small pieces, mainly small, and it's very muted color, so you really think about it for a second. You know, is it something you want to build and spend a lot of time on? Or you can start this way here too and go halfway. Matter of fact, I got to start working on my tax paperwork for taxes. Usually, I try to do is get it done by mid-January, and you know, not only that I have to do my taxes, but I got to do the business taxes too. Then I hand it off to a licensed CPA and let them deal with it, and then that's what I do. I did my taxes probably 2 years when I was out on my own and stuff, and every time I got audited. However, the mistakes were always in my favor because, like, oh, you're shortchanging yourself. You need to do this and that. And then one time, the second time I got audited, one of these IRS auditors says, honestly, you need to go to a licensed CPA if you're tired of getting audited all the time, because then that skips this step. I was like, okay, well noted. I just pay someone to do them now. I just say, no, not for me. Because nobody wants to sit there and do taxes. And they've been talking about making taxes very simplified, and they should. I mean, mine are going to be complicated because I not only that I'm, you know, doing my own, but I'm also self-employed too. So, all right. So, yes. So this is pretty much the same here. So just stick that there. Now it doesn't matter where you hold on to this because the Technic shaft runs all the way through it. And just shove that right in there. Now we got to do the broken egg pieces. And we got to do those now, which means the other manual, we do the gears. Well, we already did the gears, and it's the same thing again, so we don't care. So now we got to do 2 of these little boogers here. And it's the same thing. Boy, that wind is sure kicking up out there. I would open up the window, but my allergies and the dust would not be very friendly with me, so I am not going to sit here and sneeze while I'm filming this. I mean, the colors are pretty putrid anyways. You know, they're really kind of just not putrid looking colors. They look like they would be nasty and smell real bad. You know, very unappealing, and I don't want to be sneezing all over the place, making it worse. And then, yeah. Okay. Yeah, for the most part, though, the build experience it's pretty good. It's just I'm trying to look past the color portion of it and just looking at focusing on just the build of it here. Yeah, so bags 2 and 5 are your worst ones, I think. Bag 7 hardly had anything in it. So we need to make 5 of those, and I've only made 4. you can see the parts on here are starting to slowly go down here a little bit. And then once we get that done there, I'm just going to set it off to the side and do the other one. Yeah, I'm just going to do this all in one sitting and just get it done. When I could have just split the build up into 2 builds, but for me personally, I really want to get onto the castle, so I want to get this out of the way first. And when you get into this program as well, if any of you are going to get into it, you have to prioritize. You have to manage your time very well. I'm not a good time management example here. I have a hard time managing time as it is, but with being on a deadline to get stuff like this done here at a certain time, you have just enough time. They give you about 10 days to assemble a set. And if you get more sets, it takes you longer. And you just have to manage your time. When I do these, I have to do a lot of, and I don't have a staff or anything, so how do I do it? It's something that I'm going to note when I do the ambassador video, is when I do these type of videos, I have to look at the part count, what the build involves. Is it something like this that's going to be repetitive, or is it going to be pretty straightforward? That kind of thing. The more straightforward it is, the faster I can get it done. You know. And the faster I can get it done, and hold on, I'm having a hard time here. I'm messing up or something. Oh, I'm not even paying attention. My bad. I need one of those barbell things that I can't find. Oh, there it is. That I look at piece count. And one of the things that I look at the piece count for, if I got 10 sets that are coming in exactly at the same time, how do I get the sets done in such a way that I'm not overwhelming myself? 2, when is the release date that Lego says I can talk about it? Okay. You know, I need to plan that out as well. I'm missing one of these. Well, there's one here. And there's just lots of factors into it. If you get into this, you're going to have to really tidy up your time management. How can you get this stuff done fast? How many pieces of content do you want to produce? Now, for me, I don't like to just swamp my viewers with video after video after video. Usually, I try to do no more than 1 a day. If it's an unboxing and a brick exploration, and I have a bunch of sets to do, I will try to release 2 of those. 1 boxing and 1 exploration, or 1 review. And I do them like that. And then in the middle, let's say I release a video at 7 o'clock in the morning, then 10 o'clock I'll release part 1 and part 2 of the builds, and then slowly leak those out. And probably about 3 or 4 in the afternoon I leak out the, or review the do the review part. And I just trickle them out very slowly. There's no need to get them all done. Some people are in a hurry to be the first, and that's going to be a pain. Let's just swing that out of the way there. There we go. I got one of those done. Yeah, swing that out of the way. So, but yeah, that's what you have to do if you get in here and stuff like that. You're just going to have to really manage your time and read ahead in the manuals as you get a set, because as you see here, I'm already halfway through this book here. This one here, I'm not quite halfway done yet. After that, these go in. Now I'm just going to check and make sure here. We got to put a whip in here, and the whip goes in the same thing. It's just mirrored. But yeah, it's all about managing your time. Okay. Does that need to attach at the other end? How that just floats? Okay, yeah, everything down here floats. Old Pennywise. Okay. Now, those look the same, right? That's exactly what they are. So, that takes care of that part. And this sits right on top of these leaf pieces here. Hard to really tell, but that's how they go. And then we can just kind of move things around. It's easier to move it around when it's on here like this. Okay. And then we just take this one here and do the same thing again. Second verse, same as the first. There we go. Got both of those done. Okay. And we're still in bag 2 and 5. So bags 2 and 5 are kind of like, and I have a feeling 3 and 6 are going to be just as bad. So I may end up stopping and taking a breather for a bit, and we'll have to break this in 2 installments because I'm already up to 40 minutes plus the first part. And I don't want to make these too long. So we're just going to wrap up these builds here. And yeah, those look pretty identical to me there. Well, we'll check it out and see. Because, well, no, they're mirrored. All right, so we will have to build a mirror of these now. So let's just do that real quick. Okay, so let's start with the first one here. And then I'll build the second one here. I'm just going to do that very slowly here. Oh, wait a minute, I built the wrong one. I'm supposed to go off of this manual here. Okay, well, we'll just rotate it around. And then I'll come in here. It may not even be a full mirror. We don't know yet. But I don't want to take that risk just yet. And there we go. And then the next part of this is, so far it looks like it's just a clone of what we're doing here. And this is all that's left in here, so we're almost done. And the Mario sets never came with one of these, but this set does. And I'm just like, there's very little bricks in here, except this set actually has some plates and stuff. But so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and split the video up into 2 sessions. Means I'll have a lunch break, and then we'll come back and finish up bags 3, 6, and 7. Because I don't want this to be a 2-hour video. That's just too much, and it would just make it a little more. Yes, it takes longer to do them, but it's easier to edit shorter files instead of doing them long and massive and stuff. And so far it looks just like the other book. And yeah, by watching these two, you'll see different strategies on how to put sets together. I'm not going to tell you my method is perfect, but, and yes, it's the same leaf piece here. So yeah, I mean, it's it is what it is. Let's get going here. We need to make 2 of these. One for this and one for that. And oh, by the way, while I'm doing this, I'm editing the castle set, the 3rd installment. And in addition to that, I'm also uploading an unboxing for a set. So I'm doing multitasking hardcore, and I'm also checking out some data for a project that I was working on. And I haven't heard anything go off yet, so that tells me that I did everything correctly. And all right, sorry if I'm off view. I'm trying to keep it way over here, but I have to look at the manual from time to time. Well, at least one thing, though. We are getting rid of these nasty olive green leaf pieces. All right, so now I got to do that again. Okay. Yeah, but I'm getting pretty close to finishing up the castle. Well, I'm halfway done with it at this point in time. I was hoping to get bags 14 through 16 done. Haven't done them yet. Okay. Boy, that's locked in. It won't even budge. There we go. And they go on the same socket on both, so I think this is just a hidden mirror here. Lego, you're going to have to try harder than that. And yes, push right here. Or if you really can't get that in there, turn it sideways and just do that too. If you're kind of scared and you don't want to break these, just take it like this and stick it in there. Okay, because these are essentially the same thing. All right, so we got that out of the way. So the book now is pretty much showing them like this on both of them. Well, this one's showing it like that. Okay, we got some info here. The peculiarly named Bladder Cherry is built with a Lego element that is usually used as a vegetable, like pumpkins or lanterns, and are flexible brown whip elements. So we got the whips with us too. Oh, we are still on bags 2 and 5. Don't let the piece count fool you, boys and girls. This set here will have you working. Imagine if you were to do this twice. Well, technically we are. So this is meant to be built with a companion, obviously. So yeah, definitely after this, I am going to take a break, empty out the camera, and then I will come back and do the next version of this. There's just way too much parts to really go through here. Okay, I'm gonna put a whip in here, and we stick the lantern in here, and it just, well, vegetables. And I use the whips to let it just hang and dangle around, and that's the last of them. I'm always trying to collect these anyways. So there we go. And then those go here. Okay, I'm going to swing these out of the way. And I'm just going to snap it in like that and then swing it back up and rotate it around and all that stuff. So maybe that's to annoy the adults there, because this is mostly for adults to build. And did I forget to put something on that? Oh, I already had this one prepared, but guess what I forgot to do? Put the pumpkin on that one. There we go. Okay. Oh man, it's gonna get even better, huh? And looks like it's exactly the same thing. Well, this one doesn't show the, did I do something wrong here, or did I skip a page? Okay, the pumpkin's supposed to go on later. I did this one right. This one is, we're doing things a little backwards, so they kind of just toss some stuff around in here. Make sure this phone is still recording here. I want to try the high quality audio and see here. Yeah, so now we're building almost the same thing over and over and over again. So now I'm going to officially say that this set now is starting to get on that verge of getting repetitious, whereas we're almost building the same thing, just slight variations of it here. Yeah. I think what make this set a bit more exciting, if it was just more bright colors. This is just kind of washed. Very washed out colors. Just imagine if this was like green and dark green and stuff, would look really good. Yeah, because I've been doing this one clip that I've been doing now, just from bags 2 and 5, has already taken almost an hour to do. And yeah, it's starting to get pretty dry. Well, we got something a little different on this one here. I got to stick some yellow stud flowers on here. Are they on the same branch too? Indeed they are. Now, if I see the lights flicker, I got to shut the camera off just to save my work. Well, I did not want to stay on it. It fell off before I can even push it down on there. And it's pretty humid out here too. Okay, and there we go. And this goes here. I'm just going to flip it sideways and snap it in, and I'm going to hinge it back up. And that's same thing with the other one too. Actually, this one's a little different here. This one shows it here, and this one shows it down here. So this one here will be here, like that. So now we got that mirror effect here. I'm just checking my work. See those right there? There's one here and there's one on the top. Let's see where the pumpkin thing goes here. The pumpkin is the same thing. We're just building a bouquet now. Yeah, we still got a long ways to go, folks. A long ways to go. Okay. And okay, things are different here. Things are different. All right. At this point, they're the same, but now they're different. Because the one I just finished up now, I need to make another pumpkin thing. So we got to do this one more time here. And this, now they're going to get different. So now bags 2 and 5 are not essentially the same. Now you could just do what I'm doing and build them both simultaneously too. I'm looking for a round, oh, there it is. Yeah, this color palette is just kind of, it's not quite what I was expecting this to be. And oh, I got to build not one but 2 of these too. Cool. I only saw one pumpkin though. So this one here. Okay, yes, it does take 2 pumpkins. Am I in the right book? Yes, I am. All right, let me take a look here. This is the other one here. This one needs the 2 pumpkins. So you actually got to make 3 of those in total eventually. And then now with this one here, it gets placed in one of these. At this point, everything is duplicate up to what we just did here. And this goes here. Just like that. Now, we're not done with this guy yet. Okay. So first thing, let's finish up this one section first. Doesn't matter which one I did. They're both identical at this point here. We're going to finish this one up here first. And just get it done. So here we got this leaf piece. Let's just get this out of the way here because my stomach is growling. And take this here. Boy, this is really kind of intricate here for what this is. And a leaf piece. We got to put a leaf on there. And I think I used them all up from that bag. And it goes right there. Just kind of hinges over the top of that. So far, despite the colors, it's not too bad. And that takes care of bag 2 for that one. Let's set that manual off to the side now, because this one now is asking us to build some flowers. So we're done with this one here. I'm going to slide all this over now. So technically we're not done with this piece yet. Okay. So while I'm on my lunch break, I'm going to go ahead and read ahead in the book, because my fingers need a chance to cool down for a bit. Here, let me rest my hands. Not due to old age or anything. It's just after a while pressing parts, you can see how red my fingertips are getting. And I can only do this for about an hour and a half or so. I mean, I could probably just tack it onto this video, but I think I'm just going to have 2 installments real quick, just to make it a bit easier. Okay. Place those on there, and we got to make 2 of these. And just don't force your flowers on too. I try to force some on and break the stem, and then I'm crying for like hours on end. And I'm going to leave the bare stem right in the center there. Just remember, just wiggle it in, don't push it down, just kind of do like that, and then it'll go right in. And then another one of these. I know, Mr. Stomach, just hold on, we're almost done here, probably another 5-10 minutes. And then this one goes here. There we go. And that's it. With this part here sticking out, why couldn't we put a flower on that or something? And this here goes in this one right there. Like that. Okay, good. You think we're done yet? No, we're just going to set this in this one here. Well, something obviously fell off. Where did this come off of, huh? Now we got to spend half an hour trying to find out where this goes. Well, let's finish this up first and we'll figure it out. Yeah, so at this point now, I'm starting experiencing breakage on things. Things are just falling off. And let me make sure here real quick here. Okay, it says, where does that last flower go? Or am I just, oh, the page moved, that's why. I was like, man, I just built one of those. Just press that down in there. And then I'm just gonna reflex this stuff down. I have a feeling we're gonna be doing a lot of twisting on this to get things to line up. And no, we're not done yet. We are not even close. Well, we're getting there, but it's, step 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I was kind of confused. Like, what are we doing here? It's nothing. This thing is shy from having cheerful pieces. The camera's doing that buzzing noise again. That's why I'm filming on a separate device here. And there you go. And this one goes here. So it's almost the same except for the slight variations in plants. Okay, and that's it. Now I have a bunch of whips and stuff too, so I don't know why we have a bunch of these unless I forgot to put some stuff on. Let's check our work real quick. I got a whip there. Sometimes they just give you extra pieces, or sometimes they're used later on in the build. And that's what it is. Okay, we got extra ones of these too. Like, where did those go? Did I forget something there? Let me check. Okay. We did the one with the leaf, stick that on there, but why would they give me 4 extra ones of these? Now you got me. Let's see here. Well, these look identical here. That looks the same. Let's check bag 2. And yeah, this is not really a... now my building experience is starting to get degraded down a bit. Of course, I could have mixed some bags up too. Yeah, I don't see where that goes. There's the big giant flower arrangement, but it says make 2 of those. We stuck those on there. Oh, there's supposed to be more that we're supposed to put on that booger. And this is manual 2, so this is 2 right here. Maybe I just skipped this or something. We got 4 of them, so obviously we got to do it again. So basically, I skipped one whole step here. And it's just sticking the flowers inside of here. Like that. Let's make sure. Did we even put those in there? No, we never did. I showed it with the leaves, but not with that. Okay. And then stick that on this one here. I'm just going to rotate them on there very carefully. And I'm going to check the other one real quick here. And we got to find out where that missing piece came from. And then let's take a look at bag 5. So now we're still working on this here. And it looks like to me, I think I'm just getting hungry and I just want to hurry up. Yeah, so I did skip not once but twice on that. That's how they're supposed to look. Okay, so we got to do that thing there. And all the extra whips, I have no clue. I'm just going to do it like this and get them in there. Yeah, you're only supposed to have 1 or 2 of things, but those extra whips, you know, when you do these so many times, you know what pieces Lego usually gives you, you know, as a bonus. But extra whips, I don't know. I mean, what is that, 5? You think I'd only have 1 left. All right, well, let's take a look here. I'm going to put it back on 3. And I do see these 2 vines here, and there's 1 buried under here. And that's it. So I don't know. Maybe they just gave us extra vines to be nice or something, but yeah. And where did this piece came from? We know it clamped onto one of these other things, so I think it went on for one of these right here. Yeah, I see it went on this one here. So I'm just going to put my finger there and, or just bend that up there and just swing it in place. Yeah, it's, yeah, so far it's looking okay, but so far this is bags. We finished up 4 out of the 7 bags, and for some reason, I hate to think I made a mistake, but there's a bunch of pieces remaining here. We even have an extra nose cone. And I don't know. I don't know where the mistake is at, but yeah. Well, anyways, I think I'm going to stop there and let my eyes cool down. I can't take any more of this very muted color. So I'll see you in the next installment.